Welcome to Queen's Road Baptist Church Daily Bible Readings. This is the second in 5 reflections on welcoming and how it can help the church to grow. Welcoming greetings matter because they communicate a message of acceptance and hospitality to the regular attender and to the first-time visitor. When individuals feel welcome, they are more likely to develop a sense of belonging and connection to the church community. Greeting also helps to alleviate any anxieties and apprehensions that a visitor may have, making them feel more comfortable and open to the worship experience. Most of us find it hard just to walk into a new place where we don't know people. It's not easy, and it must be hard coming to a church if you're not a Christian or somebody who's not used to attending a church of our type of worship. In Matthew 25, verse 35, it said, "For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger and you made me welcome." When I was writing this, it was a Chinese New Year, and Susan put a lovely picture on our WhatsApp of her parents having a wonderful meal in China. I thought it was a shame we couldn't go and join the hospitality that they would have offered us. But Wendy Edmondson said that she was enjoying her beans on toast, and she quoted Proverbs 15, verse 17, that says, "Better a small serving of vegetables with love than the fatted calf with hatred." This emphasises that a simple sharing of a meal in love is more valuable than a lavish feast in a hostile environment. I mean, my reaction was to think better the fatted calf with love. The text, though, does show that welcoming and hospitality doesn't have to be over the top. Better to be simple and to be natural. Welcoming a stranger, Jesus says, is welcoming him. Welcoming people for themselves, not just because we want to grow the church or we like having a large congregation, but because we love people as people and want their best good. And in doing so, we're welcoming Jesus. Hebrews 13, verse 2 is a verse in the New Testament that urges Christians to show hospitality to strangers, especially to fellow believers who are in need. Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it. This verse reminds us that some people have entertained angels without knowing it, implying that God may send his messengers in disguise and reward those who welcome them. This verse also implies that hospitality is a way of showing love and kindness to others, as God commands. Ewan will read the story of Abraham welcoming the angels in Genesis.
The 3 visitors. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. He said, "If I've found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat so you can be refreshed, and then go on your way, now that you have come to your servant." "Very well," they answered, "do as you say." So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. "Quick," he said, "get 3 seahs of the finest flour and knead it and bake some bread." Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice, tender calf and gave it to a servant who hurried to prepare it. He then brought some curds and milk and the calf that had been prepared and set these before them. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There in the tent," he said. Then one of them said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, "After I'm worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure?" Then the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really have a child now that I'm old?' Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, "I did not laugh." But he said, "Yes, you did laugh."
This is how I experienced the church in Kampala welcoming new people. It was called Cornerstone Fellowship, and it was quite a quiet church. And the pastor was quite quiet when he preached, and it was a really nice experience going. And when at a certain point in the service, they said that anybody new, raise your hand, and if you can, stand up and say who you are. And there was 3 people who, apart from myself, who raised their hands and who spoke. And it was interesting listening to them. And then at the end of the service, there was an altar call. And to my amazement, these 3 people went out. It hadn't been a highly emotional service either, but they went out. Now, it was 3 months later when I went back to that church. And it was quite amazing. The person who welcomed me at the door was one of those new people. And I was really pleased to say, "Oh, I remember you when I came here last time." And then another one, I noticed they have these little singing groups and that sing, during the service. And then one of the new people was in that singing group. And would you believe it, the last person came in with the Sunday school. I just thought, because they'd been welcomed, because they'd been acknowledged, because they'd been able to relax, they became Christians, and that church integrated them into the church very quickly. So that was fantastic. 3 new active members. I was reading up on suggested phrases that you could use to welcome people. And there was one, it said, "We are honoured to have you here today. May God's presence be felt deeply." Now, for me, this is completely over the top. I couldn't possibly say anything like that. More naturally for me is to say, "Welcome to our church service. Thank you for joining us today." Saying the word thank you to somebody for coming sort of develops a partnership. It's not just us giving, but it's us sharing. And we are thankful that they came. The people that were welcomed to the church in Kampala felt welcomed and quickly integrated into the fellowship, and so therefore were giving back. So join me tomorrow and I'll give you some more examples of churches welcoming people and how we can maybe adapt some of these for our fellowship.